Okay, today we're going to go over some things that you can do with a granny square. Then I'll show you how to make one. These are just some scrap yarn that I used because I didn't want to throw it away, and I made a bunch of little granny squares. I have a bunch of them, some plain ones. And then I changed the colors, made some different color granny squares. And then what I've done with them is I've taken them and sewn them together like this to make a blanket. And I just used plain black granny squares, and I have nothing between them. Usually you would sew or crochet between these. I just sewed them together for a different type of look. Then I've also made smaller granny squares, and I've sewn them together as well to make a scarf for one of the little ones. You can also take start the granny square like this, and instead of stopping it in a small square, you can actually continue the granny square and make a blanket. This is a small baby blanket that I made about 16 years ago to bring my baby girl home in. And that's one of my favorite patterns to do, is the granny square, because it works up fast and you can be done making your blanket really fast. Also have this blanket here we have up for sale. This is a nice big kids blanket here, and it's all done in granny square. Just a continuous square. And then my daughter is making this one, so you can see it's easy to learn to crochet with this. It's a nice big blanket. She's not completely done, so she's still got some going with this one here. But you can see that there's lots of different things you can do with a granny square. One of my favorite squares. My son calls this the Joker square. So now I'm gonna show you how to make a granny square, and the only thing you need to learn, or either know how to do or watch real carefully, and I will show you how to do it, is how to do a chain and then how to do a double crochet, and I'm going to show you both of those. Now you're going to get your needle. You can get whatever crochet hook you have. Okay, it doesn't have to be an H or an I or a J or a K. It can be whatever hook that you have. You don't have to go out and buy a new one. I prefer H just because it fits my hand so well. It's the one that I've always used. For different patterns, if I want a thicker stitch, then I will use a bigger hook, or smaller stitch, smaller hook. But I prefer the H. Makes a good granny square. Then I'm just using scrap yarn. This is some of the yarn I used for the bunny basket, and I'm using just the worsted medium weight. You can use super soft, you can use the Caron, you can use Lion Brand, you can use wool, you can use whatever kind of yarn that you have. Okay, so it doesn't matter, it's whatever you got laying around. It's your scrap yarn as well. See, I have some scrap red that I could use, some blue, and then I've got some white. So if you've got this lying around, then you can use this as well. Okay, so whatever you've got lying around you can use to make a granny square, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, now that we've got all of our materials, which is very easy, some scrap yarn and your hook, we're going to start making the granny square. Let's make your slip knot. Okay, now if you can't figure out how to do the slip knot and you're first learning to crochet, which is a little difficult, this is what I used to do when I was 10. I used to just put it on here. I'd tie it once, and I would tie it again, and to me it's on. So you can do that as well if you're just learning to crochet. You can't figure out how to make a slip knot and it's wearing you out, just tie it. That's what I do. Okay, now I'm going to make a chain. Very easy. Just going to hold our yarn. Okay, we're going to wrap the yarn, pull it through for 1, wrap the yarn, pull it through for 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, wrap the yarn, pull it through for 3, wrap the yarn, pull it through for 4. I'm only going to chain 4, okay? The only thing that this is going to do is it's making this hole right here where you're going to put all the double crochets, okay? So it just depends on how big you want this hole, how small you want that hole. I just don't want this one to be very big. As you can see, these here are little, okay? So we're going to do it like that, all right? Okay, now that we have our chain, what we're going to do is we're going to connect it, okay? So we're going to go into the very first chain, put it through, okay? Then we're going to wrap the yarn over and pull it through both of them. So now it's together. It looks like it's going to be kind of difficult to work with, but it'll get bigger as we go, okay? We're going to put 12 double crochet inside here, inside the hole, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to chain up 1, chain up 2, chain's very easy to do, okay? Now we're going to make a double crochet. We're going to wrap the yarn around and we're going to put it inside the hole that we made, okay? We're going to wrap the yarn around, pull it through that hole, and now we have 3 on there. Wrap the yarn around and pull it through 2, wrap the yarn around and pull it through the last 2. You've made a double crochet, okay? Let's do it again because we need 12. Wrap the yarn, put it through the hole, wrap the yarn, pull it through 3, wrap the yarn, put it through 2, wrap the yarn, put it through 2. Let's do that again. It's very easy because this is the stitch that we're using through the whole process, is just a double crochet. And we're going to put 12 in here. You can see I'm kind of moving mine around, so I'm not really sitting there holding that hole like this. I'm moving my hands around, okay? So again, wrap your yarn, put it through the middle, wrap your yarn, pull it through, wrap the yarn, pull it through 2, wrap the yarn, pull it through 2 more, okay? Let's do that again till we get to 12. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the chain up, we're going to count it as 9. We're always going to count our chain up as 1 double crochet. Okay, we should have 12 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more. And 12. Okay. Now this is something that you always need to remember. So you have your opening here. We have to connect that opening. It has to be connected together, okay? So we're going to go through the top of your chain. You can see where I've gone through the top here. Okay, and I'm going to wrap my yarn, I'm going to pull it through. Okay, and I'm going to pull it through the next one. Then you can see that it's all connected. See, it's all there. We have 12 double crochets.